Hello duelists, welcome back to the Tier 3 or lower Generation Force Archetype Tournament. Well, we had some issues, and it looks like, recording-wise, I didn't pick up my co-commentator Dan for this match. And there's other buggy audio, too, for about 2 other recordings. Hopefully, we just stop at these 3. So whenever this happens, this is the main reason why we save these replays. We're basically going to just go through it pretty quickly, just myself, because Dan's a bit busy today. And just re-record over the replays and not the actual live match. Let me know if you actually enjoyed this format, because I'm going to play with both hands revealed, so maybe I can get some better insights compared to usual, and hey, if you like it more, maybe this will become the standard. And of course, I'll have co-commentators as well, but let's see. So, let's kick it off a bit. Can fast forward for a little bit. Turns in this format aren't super fast. Okay. So let me just go through, I'll go next play. So, just to go over who's playing, we have Watts Good down here in red, aka Chris, on Watts, as you can see, versus Super Nerf Gun up here on the top in the blue, who is on Morptronics. And this is round 1, so no records have been produced yet. Although this video is going to come out in order, from your perspective, the tournament has already finished at this point, and I just didn't check the audio till now. But let's go through it. So, Chris is going to fire off a pot of Duality, seeing a Dark Bribe, Watt Hopper, and Watt Pheasant. He is going to go for the Dark Bribe and put the Watt Hopper back in the Watt Pheasant. Looking at this hand, I think that makes the most sense, because now you can set 4, have a Starlight Road to protect yourself, as well as a Dark Bribe, and I think you're good. The other cards don't do much. Hopper's okay, and Pheasant, well, you already have one. Not that important. So he's going to set the 4 and strap that helmet on. Now Niko, interesting note, is going to play a pretty cool combo. Boombox in here can attack twice during each battle phase, and if you put Double Tool C and D on it, it does different things based on whose turn it is. And during your opponent's turn, it makes the monster gain 1,000 attack, so he's already at 2,200, can attack twice for 44. And whenever it attacks, your opponent can't actually activate anything until the end of the battle phase. So basically, this card's getting in for 44, and you can't do much about it. Chris probably wants to Fiendish Chain. Let's see if he does before the end of the battle phase, or main phase, and he does. Okay, good play, good play. He's just going to go to main phase 2. He's going to set a Judgment, set an Armored Unit, which isn't actually doing anything here. Oh no, from deck. I thought it was from hand for some reason. So yeah, that's pretty useful if Chris ends up destroying it. Hopefully you can forgive my clicking to go to the next play a bit faster. Chris is going to summon Watt Pheasant and start getting in for damage. Of note, we'll see if he uses its effect. Yeah, he will, just to get rid of the Equip spell on Boomboxen, although it's no longer Fiendish Chained, which could come up. I think he's going to top deck United We Stand. I like that, I like that. But he's just going to try to get in for the Watt Pheasant, and he is twice. Chris has spoken to me a lot about this deck, and I've played with him a bit. His biggest weakness is monsters that get under Messenger of Peace. And look at this hand, like triple Watt Giraffe. It doesn't quite matter what he does, because Boomboxen either crashes or just stays alive against it. Which is pretty scary, honestly, for Chris. He's going to go for the Crash, get rid of that Boomboxen play. He's going to activate Armored Unit to special summon a Morphtronic from deck. And he's going to go for Selphon, which is sort of the recruiter of the deck. Ooh, and Niko has the Machine Dupe. Chris is not going to bribe this, which is a bit surprising, because bribe typically, you want to stop these Selphon plays. And Niko's going to start rolling some dice. So with Selphon, he's going to reveal the top 4 cards of his deck. And he can summon a level 4 or lower Morphtronic from them. So immediately he's going to hit Radion, which gives all these Morphtronics 800... Wait for this to go away. Which gives all these Morptronics 800 attack. So already it's starting to look a bit scary. He's going to go second Selphon for 2. He's going to hit nothing, which is fine. It happens a lot. And I have a feeling... Oh, no, just United We Stand on Radion. Another United We Stand on Radion. Niko gets to draw first, though, even though he already has the second one, which probably, if Chris waited a second, he probably wouldn't have activated it, I'm guessing. Would have probably just accepted defeat or something. And last, Selphon is also going to miss. What a shame. Niko has not been having good luck with those, even during practice. Yeah, United We Stand on a Selphon, and I'm not going to do the math here, but I don't know if this is game. It's very close, I know that. It's 900, 918. Oh, this is most certainly game, because this adds on 3,200 attack. And Chris admits defeat, and we're going to go quickly into game 2. I'll pull up their deck list now just to discuss the sideboarding a little bit. So, looking here at Niko's list, relatively standard Morphtronic build. He went a bit more slow with the pop dualities, but I mean, that's fine in this kind of deck, and a single Judgment for traps. But as for the sideboard, he has Cyber Dragons, Machina Fortress Gear Frame. I don't think these come in. They mainly counter other machine decks, which there isn't really any. But they're okay if you have to get over big normal summonable monsters. That is not the case. These are actually a detriment, if anything. Machina Armored Unit, I also don't think this is that good, just because, you know... I mean, honestly, Niko doesn't care if Chris doesn't care about killing monsters, typically. And this will just get him another one. I could see DNA Surgery here, along with the Cyber Dragons, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, because that will get over the Hopper Lock, because you can go into Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon, which will... I mean, getting over the Hopper Lock is pretty much most of the game. There's also Metal Morph. I don't even know why he's playing this, TBH. And Waboku, which is probably to stop like OTK or faster decks, and this is not one of those. So, probably, if anything, Cyber Dragon DNA Surgery to get it going. Okay, so here's Chris's list. Relatively standard Watt build, in my opinion, except he is maining Double Grave with the Super Ancient Organism, which actually hits a lot of the decks in this format, which is nice. Not super amazing against Morptronics, except their Synchro Summons, so he might end up taking that out. But looking at his side deck, I could see the Fossil Diners coming in. Stops most of Niko's combo plays, however does not stop his cards attacking. MST, maybe to get rid of the removal spells. System Down is definitely pretty good. Just get rid of all of them, pretty much on field and in the grave. Rivalry, that's not going to matter really. And D-Prison, I like the D-Prison, but it doesn't play around C and D, so that one's a little debatable. But let's get back into the match real quick. Morphtronics are up a game here. Looking at Chris's opener right now, we have Watt Hopper, Watt Barracks, which doesn't do much. I guess it could strip a card from your opponent's hand, but he mainly just uses it as a tuner to go for some of the synchro plays. Granted, synchro plays aren't amazing for Watts and all, but I think Chris just liked them, so he wanted to tuck one in. We do see Royal Oppression, a Fossil Dino, which he did side in, which I agree with. Royal Oppression, honestly a little iffy against this deck, but hey, it'll stop some stuff. Dark Bribe Protection, and big one here, 1-for-1. So Chris does have the turn 1 Hopper Lock, and I think we're going to see him go for it. Yeah, look at this. Hopper Lock, Dark Bribe, and Oppression. That's all you really need. And I think next turn he's going to summon the Dyna, and that should finish things off, probably. Oh, actually, I cannot select another Watt. It's an attack target. Okay, no, so this does protect the Pachycephalo, which is good. Niko, on the other hand, is going to go Duality into a Machina Gear Frame. He's going to summon said Gear Frame, go for Fortress. He's going to set a Duality in Waboku. Chris is going to start his turn into very quickly just pass, drawing a Veiler, which is nice. We're going to see a Scopin off the Duality, which I remember watching this live. I think this is a misplay, because Dark Hole is one of the very, very few things that outs the Hopper Lock. So it's very surprising on my end to see Niko do this. Chris is going to draw D-Prison, set D-Prison. Niko's going to draw a Machine Dupe. He's going to go for a Trunade play, which gets Dark Bribed. I have the MST drawn, and I mean, I'm not seeing something. I think Niko's about to go for the Black Rose. He's going to summon, normal summon Scope, and no effect. He summons Morptronic from hand, but no need to worry about that. He's going to go for the Black Rose, which gets Veilered. He's going to go for the Junk Box to special summon Scopin again. And Chris is going to Royal Oppression. MST on the Royal Oppression. Okay, we have a game. Things are spicing up a bit, and the question is, Niko gets another 7 on board, and I think he plays it, the second Black Rose. Now, all this was nice, but I mean, if he just took that Dark Hole, you know what I mean? Like, he would have had one less out, I guess, or one better out, which is very weird to me. Did I set that again? Oh, Niko did set that last turn, so the Waboku is out. Interesting choice to side in the Waboku, by the way. I don't know how I feel about that. Chris is going to set his Patchy. If it gets flipped, it's going to pop all special summon monsters. Niko's going to create Junk Box, somewhat playing into it. Is he going to use Scopin's effect? Yes, he is. Special summon the Radion and go for the Synchro Power Tool Dragon. He's going to use Power Tool's effect. Sadly, he doesn't use the quick way to use Power Tool. Was going to search double C and D and United We Stand. I think in voice chat he's just declaring what dice rolls are what. No, he even typed it in chat 6. So he gets a C and D. And of note, C and D, if it attacks, any effects of the attack target that activate or apply on the field are negated during that battle phase. So this actually completely stops the Patchy from activating. Chris is going to try to activate it. Niko's going to tell him no. And Chris is going to Duality for Recharging Batteries, Judgment, and Messenger, and I have a feeling he's going to take the Messenger. Just keep staying alive. So yeah, Messenger, Watt Giraffe, and Chris is now looking in a good spot, because he could just keep stalling and waiting. And he has to put those duality targets back too, that would help. Niko's going to draw Boomboxen, which does get over the Watt Giraffe, or not over, but crashes into it. For some reason, Niko's not going to attack. I don't like that play. I don't know why. Maybe he just misread Messenger. Niko's going to top deck Watt Pheasant. And I'm assuming he's going to get in there. He is. He's going to banish the Power Tool to get rid of the C and D. Power Tool comes back end phase. Power Tool effect again. This time for a United C and D. He's going to hit the C and D. Interesting. Cellphone's going to come down. Machine Dupe with it. This is an interesting play because it kind of clogs the board a bit. He's going to go battle phase. Okay, yeah. Boomboxing gets over and trades both. So I guess Niko's game plan is to get in for 300 across the board. Which, I mean, hey. Messenger apiece does 100 every turn, so it definitely helps with the clock. And I think Chris taking that 200 was just some of the Messenger apiece triggers that he missed. He's going to roll 4 on self on miss. His deck plays a lot of spells and traps and not a lot of Morptronics, so it's pretty common that he misses, sadly. He's going to roll a 2 on the next one. Hit a Boomboxen. That's probably the best card in this matchup. Puts a C and D on Power Tool, gives him protection because Power Tool can send this equip spell to basically live. He's going to draw Judgment. It's good for stopping removal, but at this point that does not really matter. Niko's going to get in for, that's 2,500. Yep. He's going to use Cellphone's defense effect, which is rarely used. He gets to look at the top cards of his deck, whatever, based on whatever he rolls from it. But he has to return them in the same order, so it's not super useful, from what I remember. And he rolls a 1. And he draws a, I think it's Borden is its name. So Borden is interesting because it lets the monsters attack directly, but Niko's board is filled right now, so it doesn't matter that much. The question is, how is Niko going to get over this Pachycephalo? Its defense is a little too high. Power Tool is going to protect itself by sending a equip spell to the grave. But pretty much all the Morptronics die, which kind of sucks. Except one Cellphone that was normal summoned. And now Niko can't normal summon, and Chris has a Fiendish Train. The tides are swinging. I don't know if it'll matter, but they are swinging. Niko's going to activate Power Tool Dragon, go for United We Stand, and Mage Power. Once again, that's all nice and dandy, but it doesn't help get over the Messenger right now. Gets a United. Activate Cellphone's effect to look at the top cards. He gets to look at the top 5. I think he's just showing Chris at this point. Nothing super ideal here unless he wants to try to go for another Black Rose, but I believe he's out. I don't think he plays 3. Sorry if my voice is a little off today. It's a bit sore. He's going to switch the Cellphone to attack, summon Borden, and Borden lets your attack position Morptronics attack directly. And he's going to Fiendish Chain the Borden. Of note, I believe this is a slight misplay because Cellphone attacked. I think the attack would actually continue and hit the Patchy, so Niko should take damage. I'm not 100% sure on that rolling, though. Now Chris is going to summon a Watt Dragonfly and attack over Cellphone. Watt Dragonfly being the recruiter of the deck. It's not recruiting right now, it's actually beating face, which is pretty uncommon. So Borden goes to defense mode, other Morptronics can't be destroyed by battle, that doesn't quite matter right now, sadly. Ooh, Chris with the recharging batteries. He's going to get double direct attackers back. I think I'm going to start fast forwarding this, just because this is not looking good for Niko. Niko's going to Dark Hole into the Judgment. Chris is going to attack directly for 12. Set a Dark Bribe, and that's game. Wow. Okay. So now going into game 3, not quite what was expected. I know Niko was very, very unhappy at this point because, I mean, if you look at the deck list in the tournament, Watts are kind of the dark horse. No one really wants to play against them, and no one really wants them to win. But let's see what we got here. So let me get that first draw in. Niko forgets to draw for turn. There we go. So Niko's going to Duality into... I don't know why he brought this in. I mean... It's so weird. I guess it kind of plays around Messenger because you could attack and then activate it, and the attack goes through, but still, it's weird. Boombox and Junkbox, Metalmorph, and in hand he has Foolish, Dark Hole, United, MST, and Machina Fortress. Of note, he has an out to the Hopper Lock already, very strong, and an out to the Messenger. Meanwhile, Chris, I'll go over his hand on his turn. Niko's going to add the Boombox in. Pretty strong card in the matchup, as we've seen in the past 2 games already. Set MST, set Foolish, summon Boombox, and pass. Chris is going to draw into the Watt Hopper, and he has Giraffe, Fiendish, Veiler, Pot of Duality, and Messenger apiece. Not a Watt lock hand, but it's pretty good. Messenger keeps you alive, Fiendish stops that, and who knows what we'll find off the Duality. Mirror Force, Watt Pheasant, and Watt Hopper. Okay. I think Mirror Force is the play here, but it's not super ideal, because you are not locking your opponent yet. And not locking your opponent is usually just okay. Yeah, set Messenger, set 2, summon Giraffe, get in. And of note, he does now have the Mirror Force or the Chain to get rid of the Boombox in. Battle phase immediately for Niko is going to go for the trade. Mirror Force gets traded, as expected. And Niko's hand's looking a little crusty right now. And he can go Machina Fortress, but what does that really do? Chris takes his 100, gets in for 1,200. A fair trade. 12 to 1 odds. Machina Fortress is going to summon itself out, using its effect, discarding the other Machina Fortress. I don't think Chris White cares about this. Now he does. He's going to MST the Messenger. He was going to attempt to get in. Does it get chained? It does. Niko's probably punching his computer right about now. Niko's going to set a Shining Angel and attack directly again. I know it doesn't come up at all. I don't think it does in this matchup, but Watt Giraffe, when it attacks directly, your opponent can't activate anything for the rest of the turn. You'd be surprised what that can come up back in Constructed when people somewhat played this deck. It was very, very rogue. I think it topped Regional or YCS somewhere. But, you could attack, and then you could summon all you want, and no one can bottomless you anymore because Watt Giraffe attacked directly. It was a very cool card. It was very fun. I guess very fun if you're playing it. He's going to go for the Dark Hole. Chris cannot stop this, and he also loses his recruiting Shining Angel, which is pretty big. Niko's going to scope in, which gets Veilered, ironically. And he's going to pass. I don't know why he didn't attack. I'm pretty sure he could have. And Chris drew a Hopper, which is pretty horrible. At least right now. Niko's going to draw into Mage Power. I think Niko's going to start getting a little aggro here. Scope and effect. Special summon the Borden. Of note here, one thing I do like with Borden at least, is that it does get over the Hopper Lock, because he could just attack directly on top of it, which is pretty funny. He's actually going to Synchro. Okay, he's not going to Synchro. I was going to say, I don't see why you would. There's not much of a point. I think you just play the Eclipse spells and be fine. Okay, he is going to Synchro. Whatever. Power Tool Dragon. Here's where we learn that Niko cannot count, because that should be a 6-star. Let's fast forward. I'm going to assume that he fixes this. Oh, we did not actually catch this at the time, I guess. Alright, well, that's kind of annoying. Either way, though, looking at these hands, it doesn't look super ideal for Chris, but let's see what happens. I'm very surprised we didn't catch that, because it seems so obvious right now. Oh, wait, no, I'm an idiot, actually. I just remembered. Scopin, if it is in defense mode, is actually at level 4. So that play was completely legal, and that's why you changed it to defense mode before synchroing. I didn't think of that. Good on Niko. He's going to summon the Cell Phone. Hit a Boomboxin, probably another Cell Phone. I think he should just go for the Boomboxin and not chance his luck. That's fair. Probably reasonable. Put those cards back. Chris is sitting on us recycled batteries, so things ain't looking too good right now. United we stand, Mage Power, and I believe that's game. Well, sadly you can't hear the winner's interview, but I'll give you a little recap. Niko was extremely happy that he eliminated it, and he kept making jokes about how he was falling asleep playing against the Watt deck. And I think in future commentary, with the Watt deck involved, you'll see exactly what he sounds like. Because I believe Niko commentates Chris's future match. But yeah, here we go. In round 1, we have Morptronics here up 1-0, and Watt's down to the loser's bracket 0-1. Still double elimination, so no one's out of it yet. For this match, that's going to wrap it up for me. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how you like this kind of format. I know it's a lot faster than the normal commentary, but can always bring this in with another commentator. But yeah, other than that, have a good one, duelists.